Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It has been a while since my last video, but it is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. It's a special day in Star Wars because it rhymes with May the Force be with you. And there is a new Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. I was kind of really hoping that the series was going to release on May the 4th, way back when, they'd kind of announced that it was coming out in the spring of 2022. But it's coming out a little bit later in the month. We've already had that teaser at the very beginning of the year. And, obviously some concerns over some of the design aspects, but on the whole, it looked really, really good. So there is a full trailer now that's been released. It was announced earlier this morning that it was going to be coming out. Didn't give us a specific time, but it is now here. So I'm going to jump in, I'm going to react, and I'm going to let you know what I think afterwards. So come with me, find out what's going to happen. I will be reacting to the series later in the month. So yeah, let's see what it's all about. I like the version of Duel of Fates. Fifth brother. I don't like the designs of the face. The outfits look good.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his
I like
father.
how he's sounding a bit more like Alec Guinness. Oh, and that was
You still want
harsh.
Kenobi. He's gone.
They're speaking to Vader there, surely.
Maybe you've been looking
Probe
in the wrong
droids.
places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter to squeeze
Ooh.
him. You can't run, Obi-Wan! You can't escape him!
Ooh. Was that a Vader hand? That is Vader's suit. Oh, I like the little lightsaber for the end of the Obi-Wan. Okay, so let's just have a little look back here. Obviously now we're getting more voiceovers, from Obi-Wan himself, and the first thing that kind of comes to mind for me is the inflections and the way that Obi-Wan is sounding. A decade has passed. As you get older, your voice does change, and he's starting to sound a bit more like the Alec Guinness version of Obi-Wan, which is a nice little hint to the transition. Because realistically, at this point, we're probably only another 8 or 9 years away from Episode 4. Obi-Wan clearly doesn't age well in the next decade. But again, this trailer doesn't show us too much. It's kind of hinting at, what it's going to be about. I'm guessing the story isn't going to be too overly complex of it being 6 episodes. The Inquisitors are very much aware that Obi-Wan probably is still out there, and they're on the hunt for him. So they send out a bounty. There's a few interesting shots here. We see a few different bounty hunters. I think the droid bounty hunter that isn't IG. No, it wasn't is it a droid bounty hunter? I don't think it was. One of the bounty hunters from the original Empire Strikes Back was pictured here. There were some interesting little moments with, like, obviously probe droids being sent out into space. The actual building of Vader's body is going to be an interesting scene. We're clearly going to get the chamber from Mustafar inside of Vader's castle, where we've seen that Anakin Vader spends a lot of time in a Bacta tank, and his suit, we're going to get that next step. Rogue One showed us him in the tank. Obi-Wan is going to show us him getting suited up, and that's going to be a great moment, because I get the feeling we're going to see Anakin's face, so literally Hayden Christensen scarred, and the mask come down, on top. So, people have been saying, well, Hayden, it's great being Vader, but he's going to be in a suit, so we're not going to see him. We're going to get flashbacks, and, I guess we will see his scarred face as well in the Vader suit, which, is an interesting one. Speaking of scarred faces, you know, again, there's still issues with the design over the Grand Inquisitor and the Fifth Brother. I'm just not... It doesn't detract massively, you know. It doesn't take me out of the moment. It doesn't make me not want to watch the show at all. It's a minor complaint, but it's still one of those where it's like, I wish they'd have just, with a little bit more thought and a little bit more care, just taken the time to make it a bit more, you know, just have it reflect the original design of the character. And I know that people say Rebels, everything is over-exaggerated. I mean, Rebels is designed to go off of the Ralph McQuarrie concept drawings. It's a tribute to Ralph McQuarrie. But when you get something sort of original, you know, like the Grand Inquisitor in there, you know, you can afford to follow the pattern a bit more closely, you know. And he's from Utapau, and we've seen the Powans have a slender, thin head. And, you know, the fact that they couldn't, you know, try and go from that design, instead we got this, like, kind of big bulb head, is a bit weird. But again, it doesn't take me out too much. I'm still going to enjoy it. But it's a little note to kind of pick on. But yeah, excited, looking forward to it, I guess. You know, there's not really much new here that we've seen in terms of the story. It's just great to see the shots, you know, of Obi-Wan as things go on. You know, there's definite points to, you know, it just being a massive, you know, bounty hunt on him. And they're saving all the good stuff, like, until the show comes out. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be reacting to this later in the month. And thank you all for watching.